Hey everybody. I'm sorry I sound kind of icky. My kids passed on my lovely cold. But there's a question I get a lot that I'm going to answer. We just on Monday, so 2 days ago, a day ago, took Michael down to the U of M where he sees a developmental behavioral pediatrician. And I get asked a lot, why does Michael go and see a developmental behavioral pediatrician? What is a developmental behavioral pediatrician? And does my child need to see one? So I'm going to start with what is a developmental behavioral pediatrician, as long of a name as that is to say. A developmental behavioral pediatrician is a full fledged pediatrician who then goes on to specialize in developmental disorders, specifically ones dealing with behavior. So things like ADHD, autism, um, they deal with dyslexia, um, Tourette's. There's a whole laundry list of things that they see. It's very similar to a developmental pediatrician. However, they tend to go more so for kids with birth genetics, such as CP, spina bifida, things of that nature. However, they can be seen by a developmental behavioral pediatrician too. The clinic that we go to specializes in kids with autism, Tourette's, ADHD, ADD, behavioral mental health disorders more so. With that said, what our developmental behavioral pediatrician does for us a lot is med management. So Michael's on methylene or generic Ritalin, and she is the one that does his dosing, talks with us about what we think's going on with his dosing, how his dosing is going, how he's eating, because with stimulants, a lot of the times kids lose weight or they have a really hard time gaining weight and growing. So we have to monitor his weight really, really close. And we talk about different programs that might be able to help Michael, things that are available for our family that we might be able to use, and then just generally how he's doing it, if there's anything that she can do to help us. She gave us paperwork to fill out a placard before he was medicated, because with his ADHD, he has a tendency to bolt. He has no impulse control. And so we were given a handicap application placard so that we could get a handicap sticker for our car. Now, he's on meds now, and so we don't need that, so we haven't filled it in. She also is the one who coordinates all of our other doctors in our care team. So his general practitioner, his psychologist, his neuropsych eval was all managed through her. So that is what our developmental behavioral pediatrician does for us and for Michael. She is probably my most favorite person on his care team. She's really young, she's really creative, and I think that she has some really great, bright ideas, and she's really good about taking from families who this maybe isn't their first experience with disorders, and taking their ideas and things that they're doing and giving them to other families so that they can get those tips and tools and tricks as well. Does your child need to see a developmental behavioral pediatrician? Overwhelmingly, I'm probably going to say yes, because I absolutely love her to death. And I know a lot of people who have developmental pediatricians and developmental behavioral pediatricians, and they are probably some of their favorite people on their care team. They're really good at kind of coordinating the whole mass of everything. Their whole specialty are these diagnoses that your children have. And we even had her then before Michael got diagnosed. And so she was the one that pushed for his diagnosis. One of the reasons we have to see her is because as the 3-year-old diagnosed with ADHD, that's really not a typical thing. And so we had to have a full neuropsych eval done. And she was the one who coordinated all that because our insurance decided it wasn't going to send it through. A lot of insurances don't like to send neuropsych evals through for kids who they deem as neurotypical or right on the line. And so if you think that there's something going on with your kid that's not developmentally appropriate, and you're kind of hitting some dead ends with your pediatrician or with any mental health providers in your area, yes, yes, yes. Go find a developmental pediatrician. Go find a developmental behavioral pediatrician. They are absolutely an invaluable resource. We love ours at the U of M. There's some at Children's here in Minnesota. But yes, if your child is something is not right, then yes, yes, yes. Go. It's a lot of paperwork to fill out, but I promise you, in the end, it is definitely worth it. So if you have any other more questions about our developmental behavioral pediatrician, let me know in the comments, and I will answer those as they come through, and maybe I'll make a second video on our next trip down there. We have to go once a month right now. So it's been really great to talk to you guys. Thanks for checking in, and as always from Too Typical, we'll see you soon.